sensational piece of play.
He's going to get mowed down, surely. Look at that! Reaches out and bangs it down.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Day 2 of the men's Olympic qualifier here from the Namdong Asiad Stadium in Incheon, Korea. A beautiful day you see there on your screen. An absolute cracking day yesterday. 10 games of football, and we are coming into the quarterfinals this morning, straight into action. There we have it. Korea, the hosts, are up against Malaysia, who were impressive yesterday. China, unbeaten yesterday. They'll face Singapore. And Sri Lanka, a bit patchy, but they'll be off against the Philippines. That'll be a big matchup. And then Hong Kong, the top seeds for this tournament, they'll square off against Afghanistan, who scraped through yesterday, the 8th and 9th playoff against Chinese Taipei at the end of the day. So there are our quarterfinalists. 8 teams remain out of 9. And by 6 p.m. today, local time, we will know who has qualified for Tokyo 2020. Opening the day's game will be Korea versus Malaysia. And Korea yesterday, well, they were very impressive, dismantling Sri Lanka 44 points to 7, and also getting over Afghanistan 10-0. And keep your eyes out there for Jang Seong-min, and especially Jang Jong-min, leading try scorer, 4 tries to him in number 7. Skippered on the bench today by Park Wan-young. And they've got some of their big names back, and they're starting to play good sevens rugby. But don't discount Malaysia. They were fairly good yesterday, beating Chinese Taipei 26-0. Then they went down later on to Hong Kong 54-0, absolutely walloped. And some new names for us, but Joseph Gordon was impressive, as also was Hashrudin. And just a good team effort, really playing some good sevens rugby in a rebuilding stage. Have been promoted back to the highest level next season of Asia Rugby 7 Series. So, lots ahead of us today. 12 matches. Joining me, Grant Busevel, is Jed Thyon, keeping the Olympic dream alive. Good morning, Jed.
The dream is alive and it's burning brightly for the masses, Booze, and what a wonderful day. A gorgeous late autumn day here in Incheon, and into the streaming sunlight come the home side. Grant, my opinion of Korea so far is this is more a Korean team that's in line with our expectations in terms of Korea as a rugby nation. They've come out and they've been working hard behind the scenes to try and produce a side here that's going to create, well, a bit of history for them. And so far, they've been performing.
Great having you with us all around the world, whatever you're watching on, be it Facebook or satellite, terrestrial cable, or on your mobile phone. Really good having you with us. Make some comments on Facebook. Let us know who you're supporting as we stand by for this opening game. It's 10 o'clock local time. There he is, the man with the slug, Matt Rodden from Hong Kong, in charge of this first match. Korea, well, they've pulled in a technical advisor, Charlie Lowe, who is with the university in Japan. He's a Korea Sevens coach. Some local fans getting ready for this big fixture here. It's Olympics, baby, so expect a crowd down here today. But Charlie Lowe has got them playing some form of sevens we haven't seen for a couple of seasons. They've got the athletes. They just need to play better sevens. But Malaysia, well, they were really good in a couple of moments yesterday. Their 4 tries against Chinese Taipei, a bit of a highlight. You see some players slipping over there. Jong Yon-sik, it's a bit dewy on the surface. Here goes this huge man, Jang Seong-min, gets an early touch. He's a handful. Korea with some early ball. Just want to keep hold of it. It'll take about an hour for the sun to burn some of that dew off. Here goes Jong Yon-sik. He's a large man. This is Han Kun Kyu into the Malaysian territory for the first time. Working hard at the breakdown, Malaysia. They're penalised though by Rodden. Quick tap and go by Lee Seong-bae. They've got numbers out here. Can they work it? And unselfishly, Jang puts away Bang Jun-young. And a very efficient start by the Koreans. Ruthless, Jed, in the corner for one.
Yeah, good to see. They've come out of the tunnel breathing fire early in the first part of this game. Malaysia yesterday, it was great to see them get off to a strong start, but slowly but surely the analysis of the other teams has begun to work them out. And even though they're pretty enthusiastic young bunch.
Malaysia, move quickly, please.
Korea just told, I think, too many tricks up their sleeve.
Just really softly. Can't understand what you're saying.
From right out wide, the extras are not added, so
Might not be coming through your...
very good start, strong start. Good seeing Jang Song Min in the action with a couple of carries. Here he is with the second to last pass. This fella here could have gone in himself, of course.
Keep them onside, yeah.
He's been around for 3, 4, 5 years, big Jang Song Min. Very powerful, influential figure at 15s, 7s. Played some footy in Japan. And perhaps they're just releasing the new generation down that side. That's a shoddy wee restart. So Malaysia will have a shot here from the dot.
It's just the little mistakes like that that are the difference as we get towards the sharp end of the tournament. All the time, teams should be looking to tighten up their discipline in terms of set piece and executing those phases of play, because it's so important in setting up the rest of the performance.
Straightening up there, Anwar Al-Hafiz. Tackle coming in low from Jang Jong Min, the leading try scorer. 4 tries to him yesterday. This is Hezri. Takes on Bang Jun Young, the try scorer. Makes good yards there, just battling forward. Look at the power there, coming in from Jang Song Min. They win it back though, Malaysia. This is good. Nice straightening from Muhammad Nasharuddin. Patient build-up. This is very nice from Malaysia. They look like they're going to lose that one though. They have patient defence also.
No doubt Malaysia have got some ability. They've showed yesterday some really fine glimpses of interplay between themselves. But this Korean side have been well tuned. They're pretty clear on what they have to get done.
It's a different tactic by Korea, just gifting it back and hoping they could cause a maul to happen. Oh, how do you get that out? There's a lot of Koreans in that bunch there, so there could be some space now. This is Hezri. A couple of big carries from him already, you know, and he's been stripped there. So now, broken play. The Koreans will love this. They've got to find a couple of their big hard runners, and here's one of them. Now, danger man, Jang Jong Min delivers. Was that forward? Yes, it. No, play on. Everyone's back on halfway. Massive opening phase of play. And look at this bit of trickery, bit of confidence, self-belief, and that's good for the Koreans. Good try there for Chan Yong-hung. Second for him.
Well, it looked like they had a calamity there when they committed 4 to the maul, and Malaysia were able to sneak the ball out the back door. Well, they hustled across well, didn't they? The home side. And good to see some genuine home support today. A little bit of trickery, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, some bodies in the stadium making the presence felt. It's an important day for Korean rugby.
It is indeed. Won the rights to host this tournament. Thought it might give them some advantage, forcing some of these countries to play in foreign conditions.
Knock-on advantage.
Very chilly for the likes of Malaysia, and they've coughed it up here. Here goes Bang Jun Young, looking for a second try today. Tackled low. Oh, he might have just lost control of that, has he? It's play on. Matt Rodden on the spot. Big hit coming in from Jang Song Min. Absolutely made toast of him. Here they come again. They're looking eager on defence. Amalul Hazim can't get out of there. And poor old Bang Jun Young has bombed a try there. He's banged one.
Well, terrific defence. Say what you like about the effort to score the try. It wasn't as good as the effort to stop it. My word. How did he pull that off?
Sensational defence. So they keep it to 2 tries, but they keep coming at them, Lee Seong Bay. This is Jong Yon Sik. And finally they get it out to Jang. Jang Jong Min's going to coast in for try number 5. And he's absolutely sensational. And he could be the difference in the later stages. 5 for Jang. 3rd try for Korea here.
Well, the points just keep rolling in for Korea, and so they should.
Yeah.
Playing strong, playing positively. And not giving Malaysia an inch at all. And to be honest, I couldn't blame them. There'd be one side you'd not quite expect to pull a fast one on you. I think Malaysia would be one of those sides. Got some great athletes, and in warmer conditions we've seen the Malaysian women compete superbly, so can't imagine it'd be too different for the men, but today is cold.
That's a much better restart. It's a beauty, but well fielded by Amalul Hazem. They want to get some points on the board here themselves, and they just a little bit awkward there on the ground, bodies in the road. This is Park Wen Young, the skipper. He's off the bench. It's a big collision, but it was high, and he's suffering as Azul Hakim there. He got absolutely barreled by Park, and off they go again. Here's the space back on the inside to Chang Yong Hung, lining up, and bang this time. He's going to bang it down for his 2nd. He won't be denied this time. So they end up with a 4th try after the hooter. A very good half by the South Koreans here in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, they're playing with a real sense of urgency, aren't they, Korea, but they're being accurate at the same time. I mean, we saw some little dance work, some footwork earlier in one of the earlier tries, but that was, in the end, a nicely finished team effort. Carrying the ball, 2 hands, committing the players, ball into space, and a try as a result. A good, strong opening half for Korea. 22 points to 0 at half time. You'd have to say Korea are plotting a good pathway towards the final.
Yeah, they demolished Sri Lanka yesterday, 44 points. Let's not forget that the Koreans ended very poorly the Asia Rugby 7 series. Took out 8th spot. They got the wooden spoon in Sri Lanka. Were beaten 19-12 by Chinese Taipei, who ended up getting relegated. Probably about as low as it could have got for the Koreans. They still took out 5th spot on the league overall, thanks to coming 4th and 5th in the leagues 1 and 2. But they've had to pick themselves up, dust themselves off. Charlie Lowe's come in. Clearly, some very easy changes can make the games of 7 so much easier. And pulled a couple of players in, a couple from the top league over in Japan. And speaking to players like Andre Coquillard, who's been around for a long time, he's actually enjoying his 7s again. There's a direction, there's a vision, and the frustrations are starting to slowly disappear.
Yeah, he is fizzing about his rugby, isn't he? And rightly so. They're performing well. They've come together nicely, and they're pretty clear about what they want to do. It's an interesting thing. When you don't have too much time to prepare together, you want to be rock solid on your decision making in 7s to the point where it's almost instinctual. A few teams, when you're just half a beat off, that lapse in decision making and that latency and
Malaysia, you good? You ready?
how the opposition plays to how you react. If you're just off the money or just off the pace, you might as well be a long way off.
Matt Rodden, the fryer, gets us underway for the 2nd half. Malaysia, well, they'll be back in the top tier 2020 for Asia Rugby 7 series, so they'll be at the Southeast Asia Games in a couple of weeks in the Philippines, so all good build-up for these Southeast Asian sides. It's not just about the Olympics. It's all about momentum, getting to know your teammates and building a game plan. Look at this from the Malaysians. A little bit loose in the end though, but it was good up until then. Good interplay. Korea happy to go backwards here. Got a few numbers on this near side. This is Jong Yeon-sik. Straightens Kim Hyun-soo. Crowd gets behind him. Just toying with the defence now and sort of ran away from a couple of supporting players. Malaysians having to drift across here. The sweep will come into play. Looking to pick off Chang, who tries to take him on the inside shoulder and gets a good hit on him. Nasruddin, it was a good sweeper's tackle there. A little bit dewy too, change of direction. Could have been easily thwarted. Nice defence, Malaysia.
Yes, good stuff from Malaysia. They need to they need to get this ball back from the set piece. Just get the feel of it in their hands. 22 points to 0. It's a long way back. You never can tell. Momentum's such a massive thing in sevens. You hear a lot of talk about it, and it's a fairly intangible quality, but when it does shift and when it does come in behind the side, you can notice the lift in performance. Kokolad checks in.
Welcome to all our viewers from Malaysian Rugby Union and the Korean Rugby Union. Excellent having you with us, and that's been butchered down the back here, straight to the hands of Lee. Look at this guy go. Oh, the big high step. Lee Seong-bae. Fresh legs, fresh approach, and you see the defender there not interested in even getting a hand on him. 5 tries. That was spectacular off a botched line-out.
Well, that's electrifying stuff early in the morning. You have to shield your eyes from it too, sweetheart. Look at that. Blinded by the light, she is.
Number 7 is replaced by number 8. Number 6 is substituted by number 12.
Complete misread here, wasn't it?
Yeah, shocking.
Oh no, it's...
Was he foot and touch? Well, it doesn't matter now.
So eventually it is a try.
There's a streaking run around the outside. And obviously put a foot in touch. Malaysia with the put in. Korea with the steal. My word. You know, well, they've showed some blistering pace around the outside, didn't he?
There's a great spectator try. As a commentator try, fooled us.
Certainly did.
So the man gets over eventually. Can't convert his own.
Well, here's this look to the outside. It must have been a foot in here, they said. Oh, yep, okay.
5 sub.
Well, the other sides are going to have to cover him big time. Because Malaysia are no slouches there, and he didn't have a lot of room to work with. But he got through without too much fuss or bother.
Bit of a work on for Malaysia. 2 line-outs there that they got a let off and then couldn't get the next one right. So I'm sure coach will be looking at that as a work on. Set piece, super important. Armours out for Malaysia now. Halfway through the second half, looking for their first points. They may not win this one. The action will start for them once we reach the plate semi-finals. Here they go, skirting down the short side. This is Amalul Hazim. Scored a try yesterday, and look at the work there over the ball. And just a bit too late, the supporting player there. Kim Won-yong was over the top, trying to get his mitts on the ball.
Malaysia, you stay on the line. You stay on the line, yes.
It'll be rough work. It'll be hard work looking into the sun today. Thankfully, it's not going to hang around for too much longer. Doesn't take long for the sun to climb in. You can just see there the arm wrapped around the neck. It's a sacred place these days.
Giving the ball some air now. Jongyon Sik on the outside. Swinging round as Awalul Hafiz finally pulls him down.
The first player off feet.
You heard Matt Rodden, first player off his feet. Look at this, just getting on with the action here. Here's the skipper, Park Wan-yong. He's been roped in from Japan for this. They've been in camp for 5 weeks, the Koreans. Ko Kwalad to Kim Hyun-soo. Look at the width they're getting on this ball. Coming across is Nasharudin, and he can't hold on to slippery old Bang Jun-yun, who's in. He's in for a hat-trick, is Bang. And lovely seeing the big wide passes right out in front. Beautifully done. Great finish for them.
Korea really want to get on with the job here. Yeah, that's the sense I take from this performance. I can't wait to get into the business end of the tournament.
Hands on a kick, Andre.
Yeah, they are absolutely fizzing.
Yes, well, likely they'll face the winner of the next game, China or Singapore. Let's make a stab here and say it's China. That'll be a big fixture, China against South Korea, but...
It's a bit of a leap, Grant.
You reckon?
No.
Might be worth a lazy fiver. That'll be coming up next. There's still a bit of time left in this for Korea to keep building. 32-0 into the final minute. They've shown some promise, but the Korean defence has grown another arm and a leg. It's been lethargic in the past. Hafiz to Azwan Zuwadi. Just slipping over there, and that's unfortunate. You really can't do anything about that as a tackler when the attacker comes in and slides into your shoulder. Here they go then. Be good to see them just get one up the death here. Kokwalad comes across and corner flags.
Onside.
Amir Nuzrun away to Wan Izudin. Hooden out. Good defence out of the line comes Park Wan-yong. Finally they get it to the wide man. Here's Sadiq Amir. Again he slips, but so does the tackler. Gets up and goes again. And tackle from Kim Wan-yong comes in to finish him off. Another penalty. The Koreans are back in shape. They've got 6 in the line. And just with the fend will do it. That's good work from Amalul Hazim. And eventually they do break him. And the Koreans, well, it gives them a little thing to think about just on the hooter there about how that happened. Because they can be sure that China are going to give them a more rigorous defensive examination than that. But good finish from Malaysia, well deserved.
Well, congratulations, Malaysia. They stuck with it. There's a few points there for them. But on the whole, unfortunately, in the first encounter of the day, they've been outclassed. And I think even the Malaysian rugby union fans will be honest enough to acknowledge that. It's a fine performance by the home side. It's a lovely step, isn't it? Good pace, change of pace in the fend, and some points there for Malaysia. Final score 32 points to 7, and Korea sound the trumpets. Their Olympic campaign is